Let's talk about factoring the form x²+Bx+C and in 4 cases. Take note that the coefficient of x² is 1, b is the middle term coefficient of x, and c is the constant. So for example, we have here case 1, factor x² plus 6x plus 8. Take note that we have all positive numbers here, x², 6x, and 8. So find the positive factors for 8 that if you add, it will give you 6, the middle term. So first factor would be x times 1 equals 8. But if you add x plus 1, this is equals to 9. So this is not our factor. The second is 4 times 2 is equals to 8. But if you add 4 plus 2, this is equals to 6. So this is our number. 6 is in the middle term. So we use this factor, x plus 4 times x plus 2. All are positive. Case number 2, factor x² plus 5x minus 36. We're going to look for the factors for 36 that if you add will give you 5, which is a positive. You have a positive in the middle term, but we have a negative on the last term, minus. So we have for the factors, we have a negative and a positive, in which the positive number must have bigger absolute value than the negative. So first, for the factors for 36 can be negative 2 times 18. This is equals to 36. But if you add this one, negative 2 plus 18 equals 16 only. So it's not our factor. Trying 3 times 12 is equals to negative 36. And if you add 3, negative 3 plus 12 is equals to 9 only. So try 4. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. And negative 4 plus 9 equals 5. So this is our middle term. 5 is in the middle term, which is a positive. So our factors must be quantity x minus 4 times quantity x plus 9. In this case, we have a positive middle term and a negative last term. So the factors must be the bigger absolute value must have the positive sign, and lesser absolute value must have the negative sign. Case number 3, we have factor x² minus 2x minus 48. In this case, we have the middle term a negative and the last term is negative. Take note that the middle term is 2. We have a negative middle term here, which is 2. So this is a very close number. The higher absolute value is negative, and the lesser absolute value is positive. In this case, we have only 2, so the difference between them is 2. So we can say that the factor is negative 8 times 6. This is negative 48. And if you add them, negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. This is our middle term. So our factor must be quantity x minus 8 times quantity x plus 6. Case number 4, factor x squared plus 7x plus 6. Take note, we have a plus here. And the middle term is 7. Take note that the middle term is 7, higher by 1 to the last term 6. So for this is 1 times the last term. So, and all are positive, so we have as x plus 1 times x plus 6. So if you add 1 and 6, this is 7 and positive. Another case is x squared plus 8x minus 9. Take note that the middle term is 8, positive, and the last term is negative, a minus. So in absolute value, 9 is higher by just 1 to the middle term 8. So the factors 9 and 1 and 9, and 9 must be positive while 1 must be negative. So we have factor as x, quantity x minus 1 times quantity x plus 9. Then another case is x squared minus 9x minus 10. Take note that the middle term is negative, a minus, and 10 is negative also, a minus. So they just differ by 1 in absolute value. So x plus 1, quantity x plus 1 times x minus 10. Another that falls in this case is x squared plus x minus 72. So we have positive middle term, and the coefficient of x in the middle term is 1, and the last term is negative 72 or minus 72. So our factors must be consecutive number in absolute value. So the right factor for this is just differ by 1 in absolute value. It's equals to quantity x plus 9 times quantity x minus 8. If you add positive 9 and negative 8, this is equals to 1, which is the coefficient of x in the middle term. Another example is x squared minus x minus 90. So we have a negative in the middle term, a coefficient negative 1 in the middle term, and negative in the last term. So this must be a consecutive number in absolute value. So they just differ by 1, negative 1. So the higher absolute value must be negative, and the lower absolute value must be positive. So this is equals to quantity x plus 9 times quantity x minus 10. And that's the factor. So those are the cases for factoring x squared plus bx plus c.